We actually predicted that the Leave campaign would win last week ahead of that actually happening. We actually predicted that there was going to be a Conservative majority about a year and a bit ago. The thing that really pisses me off about both those things is in neither case did I actually bet on either of those results. So I was with my non-execs on Tuesday, and they asked me to find out what consumers think is going to happen next. So I thought I'd just give you some quick slides to show you where consumer sentiment is at this moment in time. So this is where the consumer thinks. First of all, we spoke to people who voted to leave, and we asked them, did they wish they had not done that? And 7.4% of people who voted leave said they wish they hadn't done that. It is not the vast majority of people who voted leave, as you would have the media believe. A massive 86.8% of those people who voted leave are very happy with the decision that they made to vote leave. So kind of interesting. For those that did say they wish they changed their mind, the top reason why they think they should have done that is because they were worried that the economy would suffer. They were told that beforehand, but hey-ho. And then we don't seem to have a plan for what keeps us, what happens now after we voted to leave the EU. I think we knew that as well. The number of people that we talked to who actually had no contingency plan at all last week for leave is absolutely astonishing. Then also, do you feel that the politicians, people urging to leave, lied to you? 46.5% of people disagree with that view, and only 9.1% of people strongly agree with that view. Everybody who voted, do you think there should be a second referendum? 63.9% of people say no. We've made our bed, we need to sleep in it. So that includes people who voted to remain. So consumer sentiment is not in favour of another referendum. My personal sentiment is you shouldn't have asked me to vote in the first place. I have no clue what I was talking about. For those who want a second referendum, 49.4% of people feel they were misled the first time. That includes those people who voted to remain. People who voted to remain, 2.9% of them would now vote to leave. So you take the 2.9% off the 7% before, have another referendum, and you still have a split decision with the don't knows kind of swinging it. So if you had another referendum today, there is still no certainty that we would remain. And then all the respondents, some people, Westminster politicians, are calling for a parliament to stop Brexit. Would you welcome this? 57.6% of people said no, 11% of people said don't know. So definitely not a majority in favour of Westminster stopping it. And then what do you think will happen to the UK economy? This is where things go a little bit off the rails. So clearly consumers think that sterling will fall in value. They think the stock market will fall in value. But they're sort of split on whether they think taxes will go down or taxes will go up, or jobs will go down, jobs will go up. So they don't really have an opinion about any of that at this point in time, which is probably a good thing. And the Scottish National Party is threatening to block. Do you think that's a good idea? 51% of people say that's not a good idea, and only 30% of people say they think that's a good idea. So again, the vast majority, there's not a majority of people who are saying we need to reverse this thing. So I thought that was kind of useful just to quickly sum up where we see the position at this point in time. Consumers that we are polling are vastly positive at this point. There is not negativity amongst consumers so far this week. They're feeling okay. That includes people who voted to remain and people who voted to leave. So there's more positivity than negativity out there in the market. However, when we told the media that story, they were not interested.